Lucia, good morning. How are you? Of course, I'm your host, Shayla Mendez, and you're watching the Best Morning Show out this morning. And we are here at the Dame Paulette Louise Primary School. And of course, it's all about our Journée Créole festivities. And I'm pleased to be joined with Miss Prosper, one of the teachers here, representing, of course, the faculty. And she's going to tell us all about what they have done for their Journée Créole activities. First of all, how are you today, Miss Prosper?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Let me just welcome all of you here to Dame Paulette Journée Créole activity. It's an annual activity held on a very grand scale. Here, the students are the ones in charge. As anything else, we want them to take the Creole heritage to the next level. And so we allow them to participate in every Creole activity, from the madras to the sack dressing, from the foods that they eat, the songs, and also the dances. And the students look forward to it every year. Let me just say that our parents are on board with us totally. And so we welcome their interest, we welcome their assistance, and they are doing a phenomenal job.
Great. Now, with, of course, the activities here, it's so festive, the energy here is amazing, and everybody looks so beautiful, from teachers down to students. You can see, just the representation of our culture trickling down. So what exactly went on today?
Well, today we had a show, a Journée Créole show, where every grade level, from kindergarten up to grade 6, they were responsible for putting on an act, and that act had to be depicting our St. Lucian Creole culture. We know for sure, we have been hearing for a while now, that our Creole heritage is slowly dwindling, slowly dying. And I think the best way to keep it alive is to have our students, tomorrow's generation, the next generation, tomorrow's future, take it to the next level. So at Dame Paulette, we are trying to instill in our students our Creole culture to the best of our ability. For our show today, we had the kindergartners doing a number of items. They were transferring words from the English language and to the Creole language. Although it was a task at first, but as time went by, they were able to take it to the next level.
Yes. Now, Ms. Prosper, one of the things you find people always saying, especially our Creole language, it should be taught in schools. So I think that's a great initiative that, of course, is being taught to the kids, especially around Journée Créole time, but it's something continuous. So how important do you feel, especially being a teacher, that it is to actually teach and include it in part of the school culture as well?
It is extremely important. Unfortunately, the stakeholders must be the ones directly involved in adding, in including and inculcating our Creole culture, our Creole language into our syllabus. Of course, our syllabi here are very hectic. We have a packed schedule on a day-to-day basis, and it will be a bit of a challenge to inculcate our Creole language. But as anything else, I believe it is extremely important. And I am realizing now teachers too are not as comfortable as they should in really instructing students on the Creole language. So teachers first need to be educated as to how to bring about the language to the children.
Now with it, listen, today has been amazing. The morning is going by so well, from horse riding to the foods. The smells here is just great. And then, of course, the kids dancing. I'm seeing them playing with Creole toys. So it's just been a really fun day. And you know what, Miss? What can St. Lucia look forward to next in terms of these activities here at Dame Paulette?
Well, as anything else, here at Dame Paulette, we take it always to the next level. We always try to do it better than the last. And next year, we're looking towards inviting the bands, our...
the solo bands and
yes,
the folk bands
yes,
as well.
yes. We are hoping to invite our solo bands, our folk bands to do a piece for us, so our students can see directly for themselves what our Creole heritage all entails.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Miss Prosper.
Thank you. Come again.
All right, so listen, the festivities here is just amazing, and we could not leave without getting words from the students themselves who are actually making this very much possible. And it's great to see the youth involved in our culture. So first of all, we'll get to know them. What's your name, hon?
My name is Ethne Brown.
Great. And how old are you?
I'm 8 years old.
Great. And why do you like Journée Créole?
I like Journée Créole because it teaches kids how our ancestors were dressed, what they did, and it actually helps them know what kind of foods we we used to eat, and that's our culture will never die.
Now, I love, that's a perfect answer. Listen, you can't beat that. And what's your name, hun?
My name is Chloe.
Great. And how old are you, Chloe?
I'm 7 years old.
Great. And how have you been enjoying the Creole activities today?
Very good.
What's your favorite part of today?
My favorite part was when they were dancing. When we were dancing.
And why do you like Journée Creole?
I like Journée Creole because we get to use what they used a long time ago, and we get to wear clothes. It's not another school day, and we get to be different.
Great. Well, listen, this is from the youth themselves. So if we think our culture is dying, this is our future right here. All right, so everybody, St. Lucia, I hope you enjoyed that. A special good morning to, of course, the staff and students. Good morning to you at the Dame Paulette Louise Primary School. And, of course, to all our teachers and students of all the schools across the island. We know that you enjoyed the Journée Creole festivities. And it was great to see the youth just celebrating and enjoying our culture. And this is what it should be all year round, not just for one day, 1 month, or one season. All right, so we have more in store. Hello, St. Lucia. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Of course, I'm here at the Folk Research Center, and I'm very excited because guess what? I'm going to be taking you on a time travel journey, and we are going to delve into our culture and experience and see exactly what our Creole technologies were like before. So let's check it out.
Okay, we have a display of a kind of exhibition out there of what our forefathers used, and it's important that we know what they did, so we can appreciate what is done. And it doesn't mean that you get back to what they did, but we can then build on what is done and to improve upon ourselves. In other words, we must know where we came from to know where we're going. What I have in my hand is a lamp. In the days before they had electricity, or even when it began, there are many of our people who could not afford electricity. So in order for lighting at their homes, they had to have lamps. Or some of them had candles, but they had lamps. Now, this is a locally made lamp with some can, for example, a milk can. There was somebody who's able to solder it, and with a wick inside, and you put in kerosene or oil in there, sometimes coconut oil or kerosene, whichever was more was cheaper. Okay, so this was that of the poor person. But when we went on to the person who could afford it, they were able to buy more sophisticated lamps. This, as you could see, this one is a bottle, well-designed bottle. It's the same purpose, but it's of something imported. The other one is done locally, but that one is imported. And because they are bigger ones, and these were also, again, the person who could afford it made got bigger lamps. All right. This one is missing the head where they should light it, but this is the receptacle for the fuel, kerosene or oil or whatever it is. And even as time went on now, these were imported. Another lamp again. This one is missing the glass, or what is called the chimney around it. And again, kerosene and oil is placed in that, and that is used for the entire night. That one is more sophisticated, as you can hang it up in the ceiling, or walk around with it, as a form of lighting for your travels. And here we have a more advanced one as time went on. This one is called a gas lamp. This one has had again, it's missing this glass chimney-like, and the fuel put inside there, that's kerosene. There's a pump it's able to build up pressure, and when you lit this was very, very bright. And as a matter of fact, before there was electric poles and lamps in Castries, this is what they used, and they had poles, special poles that lit the entire city using these lamps. This, okay, is a plane, but the local people call it a wabo. That is for actually planing the wood and so on, for posts, for making the carpenters who use this for planing. And the other tools out there. This one was for doing what is called a groove and tongue. When you make balls to fit them together, you had to have something to have that groove and tongue that puts the balls together. Of course, today we have machinery that does that, but this is what was used, locally made by our people, to create that kind of effect of the groove and tongue in the tools. This one In Creole, they say lassuette, and that is to bore holes in the wood, particularly when you're making in fact, years ago, whereas people today build homes and use nails, persons used to drill the post and put pegs across the post, which made them much stronger than today. Okay, here we have a goblet, or what they call a carafe, in local terms, and this they use for putting water. And in those days, water placed in this thing, the temperature for some reason dropped, to the extent that some persons said, if your body temperature is high, you should not drink water from this, because it might get you sick. This is the what they call the pot, the oven pot, the canawi. And the best food is boiled in this one, what they call the bouillon. And it tastes much better because of the slow cooking. It's not because of the material, but it's slow cooking. And today, they are slow cookers because people realize that when you take time and you boil food slowly, it is not shock, as we say, but it takes the time and the flavor is much better than when it is done in the pressure cooker, for example. Okay, this is a sewing machine, a hand sewing machine that was used by our people many years ago. And this one is mainly used by ladies, okay, because those used by the men had a pedal, where they pedal rather than turning at the back of the machine. And there are several models. Some of these are still in operation. They still work. There are two others in there, basically used by our seamstresses, and the men or the tailors had a bigger machine that they use, and they had pedals for pedaling. Today, of course, it is being done by electricity. It's powered by a motor and makes it much easier and faster. Okay, over here we have some irons. These were used for pressing. Those big ones are the tailor's iron. They put coals inside of this, heats up, as a matter of fact, it has coals in there. And they light the coal in there. This gets hot. And the tailors use this for pressing the clothes, making pants and coats and so on. All right? This is another one. These are all free, the same thing. These smaller ones out there are used by ladies for pressing their clothes. And what was done in the early days, because as you can see, it looks a bit rusty, when it's used regularly, they use candles to keep it clean. And part of the technique in ensuring that you don't dirty your clothes, particularly your white shirt, you press at the back of the collar first. And if it's dirty, you would see that it's dirty, and you try to clean it out nicely before you continue with the rest of the shirt. And if it's dirty and it's the back of the collar, you don't have to wash the clothes again because they won't see it, because when you put the collar down. Okay? Here we have these are the phones, early days of our phones, where you had this type where you could just turn around and get the numbers as you want and making your calls. As a matter of fact, in the very, 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 very early days, they didn't have this dialing system. You had to call and somebody asked you for the number, and they put at the control area, and they put onto the number. Then further then, it went on to have these phones where you have the own dial system. This one is a record player. This is what we used in the early days to supply our music. It was what was actually used for dances and so on. Do you imagine this small thing would engage an entire dance hall with some speakers, small speakers, and people enjoy themselves. Unlike today, where you've got this huge sound system, that that makes the trick, that does the trick right now. But this is what we used in the early days, and many of our people would remember this.
All right, well, St. Lucia, guess what? We're back to the future now. This is our time travel journey. This is our Creole technology, all of what made our history and brought us where we are today. And you can come visit, experience it for yourself. We're right here at the Folk Research Center, so head over to Mount Pleasant and come and have some fun yourself.